So, good morning, or almost good afternoon, actually. It's almost 12 o'clock here in California. And I just want to talk today about a little bit about leadership. The one thing that I want to say is that most people believe that leadership is something that somebody has or does not have. And I have to tell you that leadership skills can be learned, but there's other things that can also be learned, but most people have a difficult time trying to learn, especially if you're already in a leadership role. And I'm talking about being empathetic. And what exactly does empathetic mean? To me, as a leader, as a trainer, as an executive, for me, leadership it should be hand in hand with being empathetic towards people. And what does empathetic mean? To me, what that means is to be able to listen and understand where people are in their lives. Now, you have to understand that most people are not going to tell you their difficult situations. People are just not going to open up to you if you're their leader. The only way that is going to happen is if they know that you are truly someone that can understand their situation where they are in life at that point in time. And if you are willing to listen, they will know if you're willing to listen. And once they understand and know that you are willing to listen, they will open up to you and tell you what is happening in their lives. And furthermore, what's more important is in your organization, it's important for you to know where they are in their life. It's important for you to listen to them, because you will know just how much potential most people have. And most people, to be honest with you, have a lot of potential. The thing is that most people won't open up with their problems or situations. It could be, financial. It could be issues, relationship issues. It could be their children's issues. There's a lot of things that can be going on in a person's life, but I think the most important thing is if you are willing to understand and listen to people. Empathy is just one of those things that you have to really learn if you want to be a leader. What I find is that most leaders in today's organizations, not all of them, I have to tell you that there are some that are really, really good leaders. And some, and I've learned a lot from some of them. Some of them have been my mentors. But you have to be able to understand and know people and build those relationships. Because in today's world, it's not so much, it has a lot to do with knowledge, but it has a lot to do more with being able to have the skill to build relationships, collaborations. There's so much of that going on right now, and there's so much of that people don't understand. And you still have those leaders that still believe that because they are the leader or they sit in a position of leadership, that makes them a leader. And that's not true. A lot of people that are in leadership roles should not even be there. But they were there, they got those positions, how I have no idea. For whatever reason they got those positions. It could have been through favoritism, it could have been through hard work, and there's leaders that get to those positions through hard work. I want you to make sure that you understand what I'm saying, is that some leaders do get those positions through hard work. However, because they got there through hard work does not mean that they have the skills to build relationships, the skills to talk to people, the skills to implement, the skills to negotiate, the skills to delegate. A lot of these skills, just because you're a hard worker and get to that position, does not mean that you have those skills. So what ends up happening, even though those people that worked really hard to get those positions, they don't understand that. And what ends up happening, even though there are good people, what ends up happening that they start implementing fear into their staff, into their lower management, into their lower supervisors. So then it becomes one of those things where I lead through fear. I push things onto people because I am the boss. And I will make sure that everybody knows that I'm the boss. And I have to tell you, I see that all the time. I'll give you a perfect example. I was trying to help a leader learn how to delegate. And through this training, I asked him, how do you delegate things to people? He says, well, I just tell them what they need to do. I said, okay, can you give me an example? And he says, sure. Okay, I go, I want to see that you're doing it right. So he literally goes to this person and says, hey, I need you to do this. And this person was inundated with work, paperwork especially. And the person just turned around and said, hey, why can't you do it? It's really a simple task. Why can't you do it? The response blew me away. The response from this person that in this leadership role, and I'm not talking just a manager. I mean, this person's in a executive position. The response came back, because I can. And I was blown away by that response. So my next thing was to sit down with this executive and guided him, saying that I cannot, there's no way that you can ever talk to people this way. There's no way that you can do that because, number one, you're a leader. You can't say that. You have to be empathetic to people, and it would have worked so much better. You would have gotten so much more out of this person if you had simply said, hi, good morning. How are you doing today? Could you do me a big favor and make sure that this gets done? I understand that you're busy, but when you have a few minutes, can you just take care of this for me, please? I'm running out. I have a conference call, whatever. But you have to do it in a way where you show empathy. There's no way that you're showing empathy by saying, because I can. I mean, that's just the worst thing that you can do as a leader. And I have seen it so many times, and to see it in action in today's our organizations, I have to tell you, blew me away. I mean, it literally blew me away to actually see it and hear it. I've seen it and I've heard of it in other places, but I had never actually experienced it. And when I did experience it, it totally blew me away. And that's why I'm doing this short video. If you're sitting in one of those positions, you cannot talk to people like that. They are not machines. You have to be able to be empathetic towards people. And again, if you saw this in action, and some of you may be experiencing this type of things, you have to say something. So with that, my friends, please share this video. Please talk to people and let them know that leaders that sit in those positions, especially executive positions, have to learn that skill. Just because you're a hard worker and you got that position because you're a hard worker does not, let me repeat, does not make you a good leader. So remember that if you're in one of those positions, you have to understand and learn that skill of empathy to learn how to talk to people. And with that, my friends, good luck, and I wish you the best.